I am 92 years old. I have outlived 2 husbands, 4 best friends, and every single person who ever told me I was too much. And I'm sitting on this porch today to tell you something that is going to make half of you uncomfortable and the other half angry. Good. You need to hear it. You all call it setting boundaries and protecting your peace. Let me tell you what I've watched it become: an epidemic of people who are going to die completely alone. My name is Vivian. I was born in 1934 in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. My daddy worked at the refinery 6 days a week, came home smelling like sulfur and sweat. My mama raised 7 children in a house with 1 bathroom. 1. You think we had boundaries? We had a screen door that didn't lock and neighbors who walked in without knocking. I married my first husband, James, in 1956. He was a difficult man, stubborn, could go 3 days without speaking to you if you said something he didn't like. We stayed married for 34 years until the Lord took him in 1990. Was it perfect? No. Was it worth it? Every single day. I got my second chance with Harold in 1994. Sweetest man you'd ever meet. Wore the same brown cardigan every Sunday for 17 years straight. Harold passed in 2011. I've been alone since. And let me tell you something about alone. It teaches you things that boundaries never will. I've got 5 truths for you today, and I need you to stay with me on every single one, because the last one, that's the one I need you to really hear. Here's the first truth nobody wants to hear. You are not setting boundaries. You are building walls and calling it healing. I had a neighbor, a woman named Patricia. Sweet girl, maybe 40 years old. Moved in next door about 8 years ago. First year, she came over for coffee every Saturday morning. Used to bring those little almond cookies from that bakery on Claiborne Avenue, the one with the green awning. Told me about her mama, how her mama was controlling and dismissive. Said her therapist, some woman named Dr. Keller, charged $200 an hour from what Patricia told me. Said she needed to establish firm boundaries with her mother. So Patricia stopped calling her mama, blocked the number, then blocked the sister too because the sister enabled the mother. Blocked a cousin who asked if she was okay. Blocked her childhood best friend who said, "I think you should talk to your mom." I watched that woman go from blocking 1 person to blocking 11 people in 2 years. Her contact list got smaller and smaller, like a candle burning down from both ends. You know what Dr. Keller never told her? Loneliness will kill you faster than a difficult mother. The Surgeon General of the United States said loneliness is as deadly as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. 15. But nobody's putting a warning label on no contact. Patricia moved away last spring. Said she was starting fresh. I think about her sometimes sitting in some apartment somewhere with her boundaries and her silence. Protection from what? From the only people on earth who would have shown up if she got sick? Don't be Patricia. Second truth, you have confused discomfort with danger. I lived through the Jim Crow South. I know what danger looks like. Danger is not being able to eat at the same counter as the man standing next to you. Danger is your daddy driving 40 miles out of the way because the short road goes through the wrong town after dark. That is danger. Your mother giving you unsolicited advice about your boyfriend is not danger. Your father asking why you don't come to church anymore is not danger. Your sister rolling her eyes at Thanksgiving. That is just a sister being a sister. That is Thursday. But this generation has been taught by therapists, by podcasts, by people on the internet with ring lights and no life experience that any discomfort is a boundary violation. And the moment someone makes you feel something you don't like, you're supposed to cut them off like a dead branch. I know what you're saying inside your head right now, but she doesn't understand my situation. Baby, I've been alive for 92 years. I have understood your situation. I have lived your situation multiple times over, and I'm still here, still standing. Third truth. Forgiveness is not weakness. Holding on is. My friend Dolores worked at the telephone company with me in the 60s. She had a falling out with her only daughter, Beverly. Some argument about money, about who paid for what at Beverly's wedding in 1988. I still remember Dolores telling me about it at the lunch counter on a Tuesday, picking at a tuna sandwich, saying, I will never forgive her for that. Dolores kept that grudge for 27 years. 27 years of silence over a wedding bill. You know what happened? Beverly had a stroke in 2015, died 3 days later in St. Luke's Hospital, room 412. Dolores wasn't there. Hadn't spoken to her daughter in over a decade by then. I went to see Dolores a week after the funeral she didn't attend. She was sitting in her kitchen, lights off, still in the same housecoat from 3 days earlier. She looked at me and said, Vivian, I don't even remember what the argument was about. I remember being angry, but I cannot for the life of me remember why. That is what a boundary gets you. A dark kitchen and a memory you can't even reconstruct. But here's the part that haunts me to this day. Dolores passed 8 months later. Doctor said it was her heart. I say it was her guilt. That grudge didn't protect her. It ate her alive from the inside out. Don't be Dolores. Fourth truth. Love is supposed to be inconvenient. You all want love that fits inside your comfort zone. Love that never asks too much, never shows up unannounced, never says the wrong thing at dinner. That is not love. That is a subscription service. You are treating people like a streaming app. Something annoys you? Cancel. Find a new one. Upgrade to a better plan. My husband, James, the difficult one, the stubborn one, that man drove 4 hours in a snowstorm in January of 1974 to bring my mother her heart medication because the pharmacy in town was closed, and the next closest one was across the parish. Didn't say a word about it when he got home. Just hung up his coat cold and wet, sat down at the table and ate his dinner like nothing happened. Was he perfect? Lord, no. He left his work boots in the middle of the hallway for 34 years. Never once remembered my birthday on the actual day. Always 2 days late, with a card he clearly bought at the gas station. Had a crease down the middle of it like he sat on it in the truck. But that man would have walked through fire for me, and I would have walked through fire for him. You throw away people like James because they left a dish in the sink or said something triggering over dinner. Then you sit in your apartment, door locked, scrolling through your phone at 11 at night, wondering why you feel empty. The phone didn't drive through a snowstorm for you, and it never will. And the fifth truth, this is the one that keeps me up some nights. Nobody is coming to visit you in that nursing home. I still volunteer at Shady Oak every other Wednesday. Been doing it since 2013. I push the book cart down the hallway, room to room, and I pass door after door after door of people who set boundaries, people whose children respect their space, people whose grandchildren don't even know their middle name. Room 14, there's a woman named Gladys, 87 years old, sharp as a tack, still does the crossword in pen. Her daughter cut her off 12 years ago. Toxic, the daughter said. Gladys told me once on a Wednesday afternoon, pushing her pudding around on the tray with a plastic spoon. She said, "Vivian, the worst part isn't that she left. The worst part is that I don't know my grandchildren's faces. I wouldn't recognize them if they walked in this room right now." I went home that night and sat at my kitchen table for a long time. Didn't turn on the television. Just sat there because that could be any of you. You set a boundary today, and 20 years from now, a woman named Gladys is sitting in room 14 wondering what her grandkids look like. And that boundary didn't keep her safe. It just made the walls close in tighter. So let me ask you something, and I want you to be honest with yourself. Don't answer me, answer you. When is the last time you called somebody you cut off? Not texted, not sent some message through an app. Called, heard their voice, let them hear yours. How many people have you removed from your life in the last 5 years? Count them. Really count them. Is that number going up? Because if it is, baby, the problem might not be them. The problem might be that you've been taught that love is supposed to feel like a spa day. It's not. Love is messy, loud, inconvenient, and sometimes it hurts so bad you can't breathe. But it shows up, and when you're 92 years old, sitting on a porch somewhere with a shawl over your shoulders and too much time on your hands, the only thing that will matter is who's still there, not your therapist. She's got other clients at 4:30, not your followers. They don't know your middle name either. Not your inner circle of 3 people who agree with everything you say. The people who annoyed you and still came back. The ones who showed up even after you pushed them away. Those are your people. I'm tired now. Been talking too long. My coffee's gone cold and this shawl isn't doing what it used to. But before I go, put that phone down. Call your mama. Call your sister. Call whoever you blocked last year. You don't have to agree with them. You don't have to pretend everything is fine. Just let them hear your voice and listen to theirs. Because one day one of you is going to be gone, and the boundary you set won't keep you warm on that day. I'm 92. I still make my own coffee every morning at 5:45 in the same percolator Harold bought me in 1996. I still call my nieces every Sunday morning after church, not because they're perfect, because they're mine, and I am theirs. If any of this made you stop, even for a second, share this with someone who needs to hear it. And subscribe because I've got more truths and not much time left to say them. Now go call somebody who loves you. Not tomorrow, today.